What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And I am thoroughly excited to announce that the System Shock remake is indeed coming out this year, 2024, May 21st. And I am thoroughly excited for this game. I have heard nothing but great things for this remake, and I've heard nothing but great things of its original past predecessor. But anyways, to much further ado, I want to talk about this game and why I am more than excited for this game because I do love these types of games in general. There's a lot of games out there that I really thoroughly enjoy when it comes to masterful crafting or combat mechanics and a really good unique story. And to my understanding is that when it came to the System Shock series, these games are very heavily influenced amongst other games known as BioShock or known as Prey 2017, which I have previously played many times before. But however, I think when it comes to this remake, this game looks nothing but short of amazing. And I really can't wait to see what the systems are going to be like with this game and how it's going to utilize its systems of, like puzzle solving and being able to search for stuff that you can initially use into certain types of crafting materials and vice versa. And that's where I feel like that this game is really going to have a very intricate, well design of detail. And Night Dive Studios is in fact responsible for this remake because this game was in developmental hell. Yes, you heard me correctly. And this remake apparently had a Kickstarter for numerous of years until they finally were able to make this game. But there was at some point that this game was initially going to be completely canceled. And the reason why they thought that this game was going to be canceled is because they were having so many different types of problems. They were trying to figure out as to how they were going to negotiate being able to get the right way of how they're going to make the game in general and how they were going to make it very much more exquisite and more somewhat maybe lifelike as to what the original game was back in the day. And what I will say, I am thoroughly impressed for what I've been hearing and for how many videos I have been watching on this game. And like I said, I am once I found out that when I watched the preview video of this game earlier today while I was at work on my break or on my lunch break to be exact, I was floored. I was so excited that they finally had a release date for this game. It's because of the fact that I'm a huge BioShock fan. I'm a huge Prey 2017 fan as well from Arcane Studios. And even the Dishonored games. And I definitely get a lot of Prey elements in this game. I do get a lot of BioShock elements in this game as well in terms of its puzzle solving mechanics as well. But other than that, I really think that this remake is going to really utilize the engine that it's currently running on. I think that they had actually ended up ditching the Unity engine. If I stand correctly, I can't remember what engine that they actually were able to implement into the remake. But however, this game looks visually stunning. I love the systems and the mechanics of the lighting and shadow structure of this game. It looks so cool, and I can't wait to see what this game is really going to show off its fidelity, especially when it comes to console. Because initially that this game was actually previously launched last year for PC. And now since they finally realized, since they finally were able to come out with a release date for the consoles, PlayStation 5 and PS4 and Xboxes, S and X. But however, I literally cannot wait for this. I mean, I do like these types of games. I do like games that often give you more of a thinker's game than anything else because Prey 2017 was very much like, or is very much like System Shock Remake. And I don't remember how much I played of the System Shock 2 back in the day. I never played the original System Shock because I know that it's very old. And for what I understand and for what I've been watching on that game as well on YouTube, that the original game of itself, it's very clunky, it's very old, and it very shows off it did not age very well is what I was trying to get to. But when it comes to the remake, I think that this game is going to do a lot to not only differentiate itself from that of the original, because this game is initially the remake of the original game. But they wanted to put in better 3D rendering graphics into this game, more lighting and visual architecture, the movement style, and how you're able to just like utilize everything to the utmost of why I think that this remake looks so good. And it's fascinating. And I really love the setting of this game as well. It's known as the Citadel, and there is a villain known as Shodan. And there is a music producer or composer known as Eric Brocious, and he actually ended up doing the soundtracks for the child, along with the Child of Karas, for the original Thief games, which was Thief: The Dark Project and Thief 2: The Metal Age. And he was also actually able to just do the soundtrack himself for Thief 3: Deadly Shadows, which I have played, and it's fantastic. But we're not talking about that game. We are talking about this remake, because I think the remake for this game, it just looks amazing. I love the way how this game really just does a lot of things that I wasn't really quite expecting after watching so many gameplay demos and gameplay reveals and other from other YouTubers and vice versa. And I really like the way how this game is going to utilize the complex systems into a sprawling interconnected space of what System Shock Remake is going to be able to do, and how it's going to pertain certain types of aspects and concepts of the games itself, and how it's going to function itself as a pure RPG-ish game as it is. And I think that's what's so fascinating about this game as well, because I normally don't get into these types of games, but the reason why I'm so excited for this is what I already previously stated. And I think that's where this game is really going to be so fascinating. And it's the story. I don't know much about the story. All I know is that there's a villain in the game known as Shodan, as I previously mentioned. And I really can't wait to see where this game is going to go, not just with its combat focus, as it were, or some of its puzzle solving and vice versa. I just really think that this game is really going to be very unique and fairly different from any other type of games I have played for so many years, or for more over than a decade. And it's fascinating to where games are going these days in terms of, when it comes to the newer generation of hardware, whether if you're on PC or on consoles. But it's fascinating as to why I think that this remake is going to be nothing but short of amazing. And I really can't wait to know or what this game is going to be able to do. And for what I understand is that this game, it's so hard to differentiate this type of game in general when it comes to like its older school version of the same game, because as I previously mentioned, with the older version of the game, it's like I said, it's dated, it's very clunky. And going back and rewatching that, or I have played a little bit of it, and I remember playing it a little bit, and I'm just like, dude, this game is amazing, but I don't like the way how the complex systems of the game as it was back in the day. But now I see that within the remake, not just feels different, I wouldn't say, because I haven't played the remake yet, because it's not coming out until May 21st. But however, I really think that this game is really going to show off the power of the PlayStation 5, especially because this game is coming to PS4 and PS5. But I'm really just kind of curious how this game is really going to hold up, because like I said, I don't know what kind of an engine that this game is going to be running on. I really wish I knew that, so that way I know what this game is going to do from that utilization from the engine of the game that's running on. But however, it's everything of what this game really shows off. And what I will say is that I'm thoroughly impressed of the whole entire structure of the game, and how it's going to very much feel different from any other RPG games I have played in this type of caliber, in my personal opinion. And so all I can say is this. I think that this game was in fact the pinnacle back in the day on PC of showing off what kind of a game it was from Looking Glass Studios. Because Looking Glass Studios was the original developer for this game. And I think it was for System Shock 2 as well. But that's where I feel like that this game is going to show off so much of what the PS5 can be able to do, along with and on PC or on Xbox. And I'm really hoping that this game can really utilize itself of the power of these systems that we are playing these games on. It's fascinating. And so I'm just saying is this, I'm definitely looking forward to this game. I have never been so excited for how many games have been coming out for the past few years, from 2024 or 23 or 22 or 21 for that matter, even from 2017 with Assassin's Creed Origins. But I think when it comes to a game like this game really shows off a unique system of the lighting structure. And that's one thing I kind of want to delve right into this here real quick as well, is the lighting structure. I'm thoroughly impressed with the lighting and the effects of this game, because normally when it comes to games in general, much like System Shock Remake or any other games that are providing this type of genre, it's thoroughly impressive. I'm really loving the way how this game is really showing off its fidelity of systems. And I think that's where most games sometimes often fail, of how it's going to show off the fidelity of the graphic systems or its visual aesthetics and all that kind of stuff. And I think that when it comes to the System Shock Remake, though, this game really does something I never really was quite expecting. I mean, I know it is made from the ground up from the original game itself I think it was back in 1996 or 7, around there. But however, I really think that this game is, oh my God, like I said, dude, I can't wait for this, because like I said, I've never played a game like this before for so long, and it's one of the biggest reasons why I'm so excited for this game though too. And not only that, it's the fact that it's in first person mode. I've always mentioned this in my past videos for the past year and a half while I'm making content on my channel, and I've talked a lot about first person shooters other than, like Assassin's Creed games, with the third person stealth genre like that, of course. But I think when it comes to first person shooters in general, other than the System Shock Remake has that first person shooter combat mechanic and aesthetic to it, much like from Doom 64 or from like Unreal back in the day in 1998. This game really, it just shows off a unique way of how you're going to eliminate your enemies. It's going to show off how the perspective really changes in a game genre like this. I think when it comes to System Shock Remake or any other first-person shooters, this game really shows off the pinnacle of what kind of a genre stating games like System Shock was back in the day. And I think when it comes to the remake, though, this game really shows off its amazing environmental storytelling. And that's one thing I will say about this remake as well so far, for what I've been watching and everything. This game really shows off some amazing storytelling from an environmental perspective. And that's one of the things that I really greatly appreciate when it comes to games in general, other than the System Shock Remake. It's so good. And I think that's why the nostalgia always sets within me when it comes to these types of games in general as well. And I'm really kind of curious of what this game is going to give me a different perspective on this type of gaming nostalgia genre, much like System Shock, or much like Doom or Quake or Unreal. And it's fascinating as to why I think that this remake is really going to utilize the power of the PlayStation 5 and the PS4 and the Xboxes. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind that this game looks absolutely amazing on PC because I have watched the PC gameplay on this game as well. And all I can say, it's everything of what makes this game so good. I love it when a game really provides its own unique systems and knowing how to tell it in a very sweet environmental storytelling. It's fascinating. But anyways, this is Jake from Citizen JV. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Any comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. Be more than happy to reply back if and whenever possible. And you guys have a good rest of your week.